Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And we're here to talk NBA lottery once again. Hopefully, we've had time to calm down and maybe come to our senses a little bit about the NBA lottery and what took place last night. I know I listened to a lot of stuff today on TV. Right, I listened to Stephen A. Smith go crazy. I listened to Colin Cowherd talk a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of things that we need to talk about. Ask some questions. It's just the aftermath. The NBA lottery aftermath. We also got the combine coming up. We'll talk about that a little bit. But a lot of stuff to get to, a lot of stuff to talk about. I'll be on for about an hour or so we could talk and hopefully everybody kind of came down to their senses. We got Viv in the chat. We got Nate just joined the chat. All right. And, we're going to go ahead and get to it and just kind of give a rundown, the aftermath of the NBA lottery. The New York Knicks got the third pick. What are we going to do with that pick? I think that's one of the big questions. That's one of the big questions. What are we going to do with that pick? A lot going on. But let's get to it, man. Let's talk to some of the guys that's hearing the appearing. And now, that we've come to our senses. We've seen all over TV. We've seen the bars and people at home going crazy because the Knicks didn't get the first pick, which they only had a 14% chance to get. So we've seen all of that. Now we can come down off of it and hopefully come to reality and really look at the landscape of where the Knicks stand in this whole thing. Where they stand, what the possibilities are. And let's talk about it logically, seriously. And not go crazy. There's no reason in fretting and thinking about the number one pick. We don't have it. We have the third pick. So now we can really start to hammer down and Scott Perry, Steve Mills, and the scouts, they can really get to work and start to pound away at what our season and what our roster is going to look like next year. So that's what we're here to do today. I don't want to cry about it anymore. I heard Stephen A. Smith enough today that we don't need to cry about it anymore because he cried about it all day long. I know you guys probably seen the video. I'll show it. I know you probably seen the video where he was in the dark and he was like, typical Knicks. I'm like, what are you talking about, typical Knicks? I didn't understand it. The Knicks did, everyone, we talk about everyone wanted to tank and all this kind of stuff, right? So we did it. We put ourselves in position. The rest was up to the lottery balls. There's nothing we can do from there. We did what we were supposed to do. If that's what you wanted to do. We did it. It didn't work out. At least it didn't work out to get the first pick. The third pick is still not bad, though. Although I was disappointed last night, I'm not going to lie. I was very disappointed because I wanted to have the first or second pick. I went through a whole season of torture. I wanted the first or second pick. I definitely wanted to stay away from the fourth and fifth. We did that. We stayed away from the fourth and fifth. I was just lukewarm on the third pick. But you know what? I'm good. I'm cool. I'm good. Because we have options. So let's get with our video chat. Let's talk about our options. Let's break this down and really get into it, man. Let's dig in. Like I said, we got Viv, we got Nate. And Isaiah's joining us. Look like Mark is joining us. So, we got the usual click here in the chat. All right, got the usual click. And we're going to go ahead and, get popping. We didn't get to hear from Viv last night, so I would like to hear from Viv and just kind of get Viv's, his perspective, really quick. Just got to get his perspective. Mark says for me to stop holding back. I see it in the chat, Mark. I'm not holding back. What am I gonna hold back for? Am I really gonna get mad because something happened that I couldn't control? No, I'm not. I mean, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna get mad over something that I can't control. You know what I mean? We have options, bro. We have options. Viv, what's good?
What's going on, Sim? How are you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm doing pretty good. You know, how you feeling?
Listen, I'm fine. I went into the lottery. Okay. The fifth pick is, anything but the fifth pick, right? I'll accept the fifth pick, and anything else I'll be fine with, right? So we ended up with a third pick. If you really put it in perspective, right? Once we realized we were not going to get the fifth pick, which was good, we had the best odds of getting the number one pick. And obviously it didn't turn out that way, but this is the highest pick we've had since Ewing.
That's right.
So, let's put that in perspective. The number 3 pick has some interesting history, obviously, as we know. Mm-hmm. The great Michael Jordan. And there's some other picks along the way that were number 3, which I can't seem to recall off the top of my head. But again, you never know. You never know who you're going to find in this draft, and it's really hard to, I guess, truly determine whether a pick is correct until to evaluate it, 2 years later. So, accept the pick is and the front office work that they put in the entire season, because they've put in this work. They've sent scouts to all these universities and stuff that, we're going to see that work pay off within the next month. And, don't necessarily lock yourself into RJ Barrett. I know that's like the consensus, thinking. Who knows? It might be him. It might not be him. We don't know, right? So let's see what happens. And I guess the last thing you kind of harped on a bit, this is a good time to kind of just tune out from a bunch of the nonsense that we're hearing on TV. I caught a little bit of it on the first take. The whole, like the Stephen A. Smith and Fat Joe came in. Come on, man.
They were killing me with that, man.
Yeah, those are fair weather fans. None of y'all. I mean, they may have showed up to a couple of games where maybe the Knicks played Wade or something, but that's not real. Come on, man, stop all this nonsense.
They were killing me with that. I mean, I think Fat Joe is a real fan. I really do. But
I get you, but that, man. But you gotta be if you're a real fan, you gotta think with a second or third degree of depth, right? Like he thinking on the real real first level, right? Where it's all right, we didn't get the pick, and it's like we should have got the number 1 pick, and everything else is all because we're the Knicks or whatever. Yeah. That's all garbage, right? Check it out. So we just gotta ignore that noise, and
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna go down. Right? Check this out. Here's a list of number 3 picks in the NBA. Okay, we'll go from most recent, and we'll go down the line. Jason Tatum was a number 3 pick. Mm-hmm. Jaylen Brown was a number 3 pick. Joel Embiid was a number 3 pick. Bradley Beal was a number 3 pick. James Harden was a number 3 pick. Darren Williams was another number 3 pick. Carmelo Anthony was a number 3 pick. Pau Gasol. Let me see who else we want to add in here. I mean, we'll add some people that are just Chauncey Billups, number 3 pick. Jerry Stackhouse, Grant Hill, Anthony Hardaway was a number 3 pick. Michael Jordan, of course, number 3 pick. Dominique Wilkins was a number 3 pick. Kevin McHale was a number 3 pick. Right? There's a lot of good players that were number 3 picks in the NBA. Right? That graced the NBA. There's a lot of players, number 3 picks.
Yeah. A lot of players.
Let's feel good. Let's feel good about it.
It's the second highest pick we've had. And We had the number 2 pick when we did this Curry trade, right? So that 2006 draft, we would have had the number 2 pick. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool.
Yeah. A lot of talk about Zion Williamson today. Mm-hmm. You know, there's just a lot of talk about Zion and the disappointment. Regardless if you're a Knicks fan, a Lakers fan, or whatever kind of fan you are, the disappointment knowing that there is a very, very great possibility, probably 95% chance that the Pelicans, 99.9% chance that the Pelicans draft Zion Williamson. And there's only one reason why I say 99.9%. The reason why I say 99.9% is because both parties were non-committal last night. If you watched and listened to the interviews, both parties, David Griffin, Zion Williamson, they were both non-committal. When Griffin was interviewed and they asked him, when I say Zion, what do you think? Or something like that. And he said, what were the exact words that he said? I don't know the exact words, but he basically said, we have a good start, but there's a lot of work to do. Something to that effect, basically. Right? Non-committal. To me, that's non-committal. And, you know, I guess that's probably the right thing to do, you know, as a GM, because you never know how things are going to bounce. Zion, when he was interviewed, kind of the same thing. He said, I don't know where I'm going to end up. He said, yes, I'm nervous because I don't know where I'm going to end up. And the lady asked him, when you heard that the Pelicans called your name, you didn't think that you can go to the Pelicans? And he said, well, there's a very good chance, but it's not done until it's done. Something to that effect.
That's smart media savvy right there.
Right?
You know,
very media, very media savvy by the young man. But non-committal on both parties. Non-committal. I will say that. Right? And then, of course, Colin Cowherd, brought up today that Zion Williamson has not signed with an agent. Right? He has not signed a shoe deal. So he does have the ability to go back to college. Now, what Colin Cowherd, his plan, his grandiose idea is that Zion tell the Pelicans, I'm not going to play for you. I'm going to go back to college. Or maybe he didn't say go back to college. He said, I'm going to go play for the U.S., the national team. Go play with Greg Pop for the national team. Then I'll enter the draft next year. Right? Is Zion going to do that? I doubt it. Right? Because now you got a whole nother year without getting that money, and God forbid he gets hurt. Then that money is down the drain. Right? Zion didn't look thrilled. But also, it was probably very unexpected. So his emotions were probably like, whoa, wait a minute. I was expecting the Knicks or the Lakers I don't even know about the Lakers. I was expecting the Knicks or the Suns or the Cavs.
Yeah, I think that's
right? Not the Pelicans.
Expectation.
His emotions would be a little bit indifferent. But he was, neither party seemed committed or were non-committal. Let me say that. Both parties were non-committal. Let's see where this goes. Also, I was listening to Brian Windhorst today. He was just kind of like, it's out there in the air. Let's put it like that. That it's out there in the air, and it is something that maybe his team, his family, whomever, is discussing. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna come back to you, Vid. Let's see. Nate.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Oh, not much, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I might be the only one that believes this, but he doesn't want to play for New Orleans. I mean, the body language, he looked very timid in his answers. I mean, yeah, let's look at the bigger picture of Zion. He's got 2 million Twitter followers. I mean, the guy has been a phenom ever since he played in high school. He's made for the big stage. You know, you're not going to make that in New Orleans. You know, and the way they've treated Anthony Davis, in some people's opinions, or, you know, whether or not surrounding him with talent and all that, Zion sees that. And I think that he's a little concerned that he might not be going to a strong organization. I mean, they fired Demps, you know. I mean, there just doesn't seem like a very strong organization right now. And I think the people close to Zion are telling him that. So I truly believe that there could be, he could force his way either to, like you said, or Colin Howard said, like maybe he plays for USA Basketball and then re-enters a draft, or maybe he uses his way to another team. You know, then that really puts the Pelicans in a real quandary because Davis don't want to be there. And now if Zion's people tell the Pelicans, hey, this guy's not going to want to play here, you guys are making a big mistake, you know, then that's going to cause even a bigger mess. I was thinking of this right now, and I wanted your opinion on this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way possible, just hear me out for a sec, that if the Knicks can put together a solid package deal, it'd have to be a crazy deal, but maybe they try to swap the picks?
I mean, I don't know. I thought about that a little bit today, but yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, they'd have to put something crazy together. But the thing is, I think that they're saving their assets for Anthony Davis, because I think they feel now their main focus should be Anthony Davis. You know, let's try to get him and see what we can put together. But you know, I that kind of crossed my mind. Because I don't know if you heard, but John Moran to the Grizzlies is pretty much Grizzlies that want John Moran.
Well,
they're not going to go.
We'll see.
They're not going to go RJ Barrett.
Yeah. Well, you know, let's see how the let's see how the combine and stuff. I'm gonna come back to you, Nate. We're gonna talk about the combine and stuff too. You know, let's see how that goes. Let's see who we got knocking on the door to get in. All right, Guillermo. Okay, we got a crew. We got a nice crew coming in. You know, I don't know. Let's see. Let me get around. I'm gonna come to you, Isaiah. I'm gonna come to you.
Sam, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
Hey, Sam, can I get like just a minute just to explain a couple things that I have in my head? Because you know, today I was so disgusted, and I could barely watch ESPN because that was the biggest joke I've ever seen, and everybody in ESPN should feel ashamed.
What was the biggest joke? What was the biggest joke?
ESPN is the biggest joke, and I've never been more ashamed of a sports analyst show than First Take. This was Stephen A. Smith is one of the biggest. Like I was dumbfounded, Sim, especially last night when he said typical Knicks, and I was with you when he said that. I'm like, what are you talking about? You make zero sense of when you said typical Knicks. This has nothing to do with the Knicks. And ESPN is pushing this narrative, Sim, that's really is beyond me. And exactly, Guillermo, it's corny. Because, Sim, why are they – Sim, this is the biggest joke. Why are they only talking about the Knicks? Why? The reason why I think – you know, one of the big things why they're bringing up the Knicks is because it was kind of a dud. A lot of people, I think, Colin Cowherd, I think, explained it very well. And this is from his perspective, that special things only happen every so often. And he wanted Zion to be in New York, and he's not a Knicks fan. It's just it would have been special. He felt it would have been special. Well, we all thought it was special.
I mean, of course, Knicks fans, but he felt it would have been special. Just, you know, a special player there to help, possibly help resurrect the franchise. You know, he has a magnetic smile. He's just a magnetic type of a guy. He's electric. those type of things. And I think that's the reason why the Knicks are being brought up. I don't think it's if you really listened. I mean Stephen A. Smith had his reaction. Max Kellerman had his reaction, right? But most people, if you watched enough, really did say, yeah, the Knicks fans are hurt, but they're in a really good situation.
Yeah, but
besides Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith does a lot, he has a lot of histrionics and stuff. 1 second, Isaiah, check this out. I just want you guys to, and we're going to get off of Zion in a minute, but this is the lottery aftermath anyway. But here's the question. I forgot the interviewer's name that she asked.
David the black Griffin. Chick, right, for Zion?
Got a lot of work to do with this.
So here we go. Ready?
This is a good start.
When I say Zion, you say what?
We have a lot of work to do. This is a good start.
All right, thank you.
And that's it right there. I don't know if you guys heard it, but I'm pretty sure everyone else probably heard it. She said, when I say Zion, you say what? And he says, we got a lot of work to do. This is a good start. That's David Griffin. That's non-committal to me. Right, and Zion was the same way. We'll see how that whole thing plays out. In the end, I think that he's going to go to New Orleans. Right, he was drafted number 1. He did have an insurance policy that if he was drafted any lower than 14, he'd get $8 million. I don't know how him being drafted now impacts the insurance policy. Right, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna go ahead and go to the Pelicans and get his money, get his shoe deal, live out his first however many years as a rookie in New Orleans. How it is, if he likes it and he loves it, he'll stay. If he doesn't, he'll rock. Go ahead.
Oh, so Sim, yeah. So basically, I mean, thank you for explaining that. And I was just saying that again, the narrative that, and it was getting me really angry, Sim, about today, because all you see them they keep replaying. They do this every time, Sam. They keep replaying the videos of all the quote unquote those bot Knicks fans that are all disappointed.
Yeah.
But you know what they never talk about, Sam? They don't talk about the fact that we were the only team that was in the taking position to even be in the top 5. They don't talk about that. They don't talk. Sam.
But you had to listen to everyone, because there were a lot of people that on ESPN that looked at it and said, the Knicks had a 60% chance of getting the 4th or 5th pick, a 40% chance of getting the 3rd pick, and they got the 3rd pick, and they kind of beat the odds in that aspect. So I mean,
but no, this is what I'm saying, Sam. But I was things like, for example, like they try to play the Knicks by saying, before this happened, Sam, everybody said that this was a 3-player draft. Just people saying 3-player. But as I was watching a couple of shows, they was like, oh, this is a 2-player draft now. And, the Knicks are on the outside looking at it. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Well,
it's so crazy.
I heard that too, but I think there were more people probably saying, that the Knicks are in a good spot. You got, I mean, listen, I work from home and I get a chance to sit and listen to ESPN and Fox Sports 1 or however you say it all day long, and I listen to some of these guys. I was really just kind of upset with the way that Stephen A. Smith reacted, like the Knicks did something wrong. Ridiculous. That just made me mad, like the Knicks did something wrong.
But I will say one thing, Sim. I'll say one last thing. You goes on somebody else, and I'm going to touch on what you just said. Like, remember how you just said, if Zion doesn't want to be there, he can we do his 4 years or 5 years and be out. Mm-hmm. Well, guess who one of his best friends is that the Knicks might be having this year?
Who?
And guess who might recruit him?
Who?
If we do this right and we get RJ Barrett.
Who, man? Who?
RJ Barrett is Zion.
Oh, I mean, we don't even have him yet. I mean, we'll see. We got to see how this whole thing plays out. There's a lot of stuff that can happen between now and the NBA draft on June 20th. A lot of stuff that can go down, man.
It's in Chicago, right, Sim? It's in Chicago.
No, it's in Barclays. It's at the Barclays Center.
You going this year or you don't know yet?
I plan to. Hopefully I can set something up where we can all get together. You know, I'm working on that now. We'll see what happens.
Because I'm gonna sleep at Gilmore House that day before.
Yeah. So it's we'll see.
Gilmore, bro.
We'll see. But you know how. Listen. You know how ESPN, and I was really just upset with Stephen A. Smith's reaction.
Stephen A. Smith, I'm sorry.
Ridiculous.
I cannot get over what Stephen A. Smith did today. When he said typical Knicks, Sim, I lost my mind, Sim, and I'm just like, where is this coming from? Like,
that was ridiculous.
I'm sick and tired of him always saying he's 25 years in the game of NBA, but he says this. Like, come on now.
Yeah. All right, let me see. Let's talk to Mark, man. Who's Mark? What's popping, man? Hey, Mark.
I'm live?
Yeah, you live, bro. What's good with you?
Yo, what's going on? I'm actually having a great day, man. Like,
Okay.
listen,
Glad to hear that.
I told y'all,
bro. I'm glad to hear that.
Listen, like I said.
Well, tell your boy Stephen A. Smith to have a great day too. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Stephen A. be tripping.
Sim, you're reading wrong into how he's expressing himself. It's more about, we tanked right the first time in years, and he really wanted Zion for other aspects.
Okay, but typical Knicks though. That's what he said. Typical Knicks, like the Knicks did something.
Typical Knicks.
Come on, man. Did you listen to the whole thing? He basically blamed it on the Knicks, like they did something wrong. You got to listen to what he said. I'm not talking about on Sports Center. I'm talking about his initial reaction. Sometimes I love Stephen A. Smith. He broke down a lot of doors for African American, reporters and analysts and things like that, and the way that you can. People can kind of be themselves. African Americans can kind of be themselves on ESPN and all these news stations, sports news stations, and things like that. He really break down those doors. So I love Stephen A. Smith, but sometimes the guy gets on my nerves, and I tell him that to his face too. If I ever meet him and it comes up, if he ever sees one of these shows and he sees me saying, I would tell him to his face. I'll tell him on First Take. I'll tell him on a Stephen A. Smith show. I'm like, yo, dude, sometimes you get on my nerves.
You know what?
Seriously.
You know what it is too? They come on every day. Like when you hear a person talk constantly every day, it will take a toll on you, especially the amount of years that he's been doing it. It will take a toll on you. So sometimes with him, it's all in maturation when you want to listen to him.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to the Knicks. You know what I mean?
He be wilding sometimes, man. He be wilding sometimes.
You have to take it for what it is. So, but it was just more about just not having luck.
Yeah, I get it.
That's what it's more about.
I get it.
But like I said, I'm having a great day. I don't know why. Listen, I thought I was gonna be pissed off. I really, really thought. But as I sat down and really sit down and look at all the ways we can maneuver with just, picking RJ, using RJ, moving RJ, with the Anthony Davis thing happening, that's a big thing with KD. Like I said, KD's the big fish. When he comes about, everything will come into place. But the new news today is that with Anthony Davis, why he made it easier for us to get a trade. And the thing is, Sim, I don't think David Griffin has the leverage to squeeze everything out of us. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not going to happen.
See, I feel you. Here's my fear that
go ahead.
David Griffin tries to play his hand.
He's going to try to strong arm it.
And push this all the way out till February.
But no, hold on.
I don't want that, man.
No, here's the caveat. Anthony Davis said, Clutch came on and said, I want to be traded before they have a media day before the free agency. He wants to be traded before media day. He don't want to speak on a podium or nothing.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, I would want to be traded before media day as well.
Yeah, he was trying to woo him with the contract. He don't want to stay. And I told you, Sim, it's either LA or New York are the only teams he's willing to resign with because of the big market. Right. It was the big market he's asking for. Yeah, Boston is big, But the magnitude of New York and Boston with the salary cap that we have for New York, you got to remember, he's looking at that. He's looking at that. He's looking at KD. He's looking at Kyrie. And just for that spot, he wants to play with a primary play. He wants to play with a one-tier player. That's what he's aiming for. So it's either LeBron or it's either Kevin Durant. He wants the crop of the crop. So New York and LA is the two places. But hear this now. Griffin don't want to trade to LA because that'll be their competition. That will be their competition. And the thing is too, the value of the player they have is, remember, Ingram deal. He's looking for the extension money right now. And when you think about it, Griffin don't want to play the system and paying that much money. Because Ingram's looking for a deal right now. So
you're breaking up on me, bro. You're breaking up on me.
You hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking up a little bit, but go ahead. I mean, I know how your service is, Mark, so you got to take all those windows down.
I just got a new modem. You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got to take those windows down, man.
Now my iTunes popped up. My bad. So the thing is, he wants players who he can have for years on deals. And our young players, they have 3 to 4 years left on their rookie scale deals. So David Griffin is looking at that also. But the thing is, because he don't have leverage, because Anthony Davis want to leave. So our advantage is, listen, they have a mock trade out right now where we don't have to give up Mitchell. The Knicks will have to give up our 2020, the Knicks 2020 and the Dallas 2021, the third pick, Dennis Smith, Knox, Frank, Damian Dotson, I think someone else. And we don't have to give up that Dallas 23. It's that 21.
Okay, so one. All right. So I'm glad you moved into that. Let's move into that for a second and we can pop right back. All right? We can pop right back.
This is your show.
You brought up, I'm keeping you live. You brought up about the Mavs picks. Okay? So we're going to get into that for just a second. Because the Mavs picks that the Knicks received from the Kristaps Porzingis trade,
that 2021 is good,
was based on this year's draft, right? So the Mavericks 2019 draft pick was protected. I think it was top 5 protected.
Yeah, top 5.
Right?
If they was top 5, then we'd have had 2022 and 2023.
Right. So it came in at 10, which means it went to Atlanta. So the Mavericks 2019 pick is now to Atlanta. The next available pick that the Knicks can get is 2021. The Knicks now have the Mavs 2021 pick, which is unprotected. And if, who knows? Listen, that could be, I'm not wishing any ill will on anybody in Dallas. But
I'm hoping Dallas suck. I'm
hoping that they suck. I'm not wishing any ill will on their players. I just hope that they're garbage, right? If they're garbage, then we get a good pick in 2021. That's a nice deal. All right. The 2023 pick is protected. Right? So the Knicks get the 2021 because the Mavs can't trade picks in, back-to-back years. So it's got to skip a year. 2021, we can get their pick. It's got to skip another year. 2023, we can get the pick again. But that pick is protected. Right? So if the Mavs are not good, which, we expect that they should be good, but if the Mavs are not good, and it's, I don't know if it's top 5 or top 10 protected, but it's a protected pick. If we don't get the pick in 2023, then it would go on to the next year. If we don't get it the next year, it would go all the way to 2025. If we don't get it by 2025, then I guess we'd get like 2 second-round picks from the Mavs. All right? I don't want those second-round picks.
Yeah, and that's why I think when they get Kevin Durant and Kyrie and stuff, I think they're gonna use the 2023 pick as like a trade bait to get like veteran players or some sort. They're gonna use that. I think they're gonna keep the Knicks picks that we have after the 2020 because they're gonna give the 2020 in that Anthony Davis deal. That's gonna happen. But that 2021 is what Boston wanted the Sacramento pick to be, and they got 14. And that was the sweetener one that they was going to use for the AD trade. They thought Sacramento was going to suck this year, but it didn't happen. And they got 14. That was the one that's supposed to be a 5 protected.
Right. So this is part.
The Knicks are fine.
Yeah. So again, this is part of the aftermath of the NBA lottery. We now know what those Mavericks draft picks are going to be, which is another feather in the cap for the Knicks, because now they know, when they're negotiating, they know you got a 2021 that's unprotected, you got a 2023 that's protected, right? You know what it is.
Sim, and the best thing, the David Griffin guy, right? Mm-hmm. He's the type of dude to try to stronghold a team, and I don't think Scott Perry's gonna let him get away with that. No way, no how. I don't, and that's why I feel so confident in Scott Perry. Those picks I don't think they're gonna give him Mitchell Robinson. I think that's one person they're gonna keep. That is one person they're gonna keep. I think our team value him more than anybody else on this team, because the way they talked about him, the way how he became such of a leader for this team, which was surprising by me. I didn't think that he had that in him. Yeah. So I think, and the way he could move on the perimeter, and if we land AD, to have him develop under AD, come on, there's no way they give up that. So, and the thing is, Anthony Davis made it easier for us. I'm not signing to no other team but the Lakers or the Knicks. So it's up to the organization. Listen, it's either you lose me or you just take what the Knicks are giving you. Right. Period. Right. So they can't stronghold us. I mean, that does. Stronghold us.
But they can because he does not. But they can push this thing out until February, which it wouldn't be good for. It wouldn't be good for them though. It wouldn't be good for them. I mean, it wouldn't be good for them, but it could happen.
Teams know that he's not signing anywhere, and he's with Clutch Sports. And you know how the NBA teams don't like LeBron James' camp. Honestly, they're taking over. And when they mean something, they mean something, Sim. So teams are not going to trade their young youth for Anthony Davis, because the only way things can mess up if Boston say, you know what, forget it. We're going to do it, bring him here, and we're going to try to woo him. But that's the only way it could mess up our deal. But I don't think the Celtics are going to do that, knowing that he said, I am not signing anywhere. Clutch Sport came outside, and I ain't signing nowhere. And those people ain't playing with LeBron. They don't even like LeBron when it comes to that. Yeah. Because he's picking up everybody. Yeah. So it played a big role in for us. Big role.
Yeah. And I see Ralph Petito say that Perry said he's not going to trade for any player that he can get in free agency. You know what? I'm going to tell you this, Ralph. I think that if AD is available, and I mean he's going to be available through trade, and the Knicks can get him, I think Scott Perry is going to get him. In my opinion, I think Scott Perry is going to get him, because
think Scott Perry's going to.
Go ahead.
Perry ain't gonna give what David Griffin want. He wants damn near everybody on this roster. He's railing. He wants the 2023 pick, the 2021 pick. No, guy, you don't have that leverage. The guy say he don't want to be there with y'all. And just for getting Zion made it worse. Right. Because Zion is bigger than Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Well. The one thing that could be in Griffin's favor is that the Lakers, they've had a change in regime now, with Magic Johnson doing what he did. But you don't know, the Lakers might try to drive up the offer big time, and the Celtics might try to drive something up too. So, let me get around. I'm gonna come back to you. Let me get around. Let me get back around to you. All right. Ernesto, what's going on, man?
What's popping, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Well, I know, we've had a little bit of time to, hopefully a lot of Knicks fans come to their senses, have, a little bit of time to just relax, cool down, think about it, think about the third pick, think about our possibilities. One of our possibilities, of course, is Anthony Davis. That's going to drive a lot of news stories from now until Anthony Davis is traded. Somebody in the chat though just asked a question, and I'll see if I can look and see who that was. Oh, I'm sorry. It was a super chat. Let me shout out a couple of people. Mighty Knicks, thank you for the super chat. It said Zion is another Simmons, not Giannis. I don't know if he's another Simmons. You know, he don't have the kind of court vision that Ben Simmons has. But Shifty Lee Major said we should trade up from that 55th pick. But who? I do agree. You know, I mean, hopefully we can just get a higher pick. I don't know if we trade up. I don't know if we want to try to, you know, it's a second round pick. I don't know if you want to give up any assets, you know, but I would like to get a higher pick than that 55th pick. And Dot Shooter, thank you for the super chat, said, any chance they trade for Zion? No. That's what, I mean, no, I don't think so. Could it be out there? I'm pretty sure somewhere along the line, someone's going to, you know, come up with something nifty that maybe the Pelicans, you know. The only way I would say is if Zion's camp, and he doesn't have a camp yet because he hasn't signed with an agent. He doesn't have a camp yet. But if Zion's camp were to say, we don't want to go to New Orleans, then maybe something's on the board. At this point, you know, Zion's got to get a camp first. That's the first thing. He's got to get a camp. Either get a camp or say he's going to go back to school or put some other plan in place. But if Zion says he's going to go to New Orleans, there is no way in hell that the New Orleans Pelicans are going to trade him to the New York Knicks, in my opinion. Right? Anthony Davis was unable to bring ticket holders in. You seen last night, the Pelicans, when fans found out that they had the first pick, sold 2,000 tickets last night. 2,000 tickets. They're going to sell out. They're going to sell out their arena for them to see Zion. Right? He is he's marketable. He's just super marketable. And like, it's like there's already a legend of Zion, and he hasn't done anything in the NBA yet. NBA hasn't seen this kind of prospect, and I don't mean prospect basketball wise, which of course he's going to be, you know, he should be. I hope he comes in and he's a 2010 guy. But I'm just from the pure marketability of him. I mean, the last person that we've seen that is this such a household name. LeBron was a household name coming out of high school. He's a household name coming out of college. There's no way that they trade Zion. I just don't see it. But Ernesto, do you agree or disagree?
Nah, I don't think look. So we've had 24 hours. More than 24 hours to digest the whole thing, how everything went down. And I'm just hoping that Knicks fans out there, you know, have come to grips that, hey, it was a good day for us. It was a good day for us on many levels. Mm-hmm. That's how I saw it from the moment it happened. It could have gone a lot worse. And Mark, the AD trade, that's going to go down. I feel that's going to go down because another thing that I'm thinking about here is that New Orleans landing that first pick, getting Zion, that's going to soften the blow of having to trade AD, you know, because AD wants out. So they're going to have to trade him anyways.
Right. So
landing that top pick, landing Zion, that's going to make it easier on the organization just to move on.
Right.
So.
Right. And of course,
they're going to want to deal with the Lakers.
Yeah, and then of course.
All that tampering stuff. Hold on, stuff. My dog here is bothering me now.
Yeah. But
hold
then
on a second. Let me take this little sucker out.
Okay.
Give me a second.
All right. Go ahead. Do what you do, man. Go ahead. Do what you do. But just going, based on what Ernesto was saying, it does soften the blow for the New Orleans Pelicans. And then if they do trade Anthony Davis to the Knicks, now they'll be able to rebuild with some of the assets that they get from the Knicks. I was just following up what you were saying, Ernesto, is that if they do trade, the Pelicans do trade Anthony Davis.
Think about it. They have a new franchise player in the house now. So
yeah, they got a new franchise player, right? And then
and I don't think they want to deal with the Lakers because of all that tampering stuff that went behind. So
right, and then they got bored of assets. Then they got assets from the trade. From whatever happens with Anthony Davis, they have a ton of assets. To really start rebuilding. Now, another
thing to think about is that, let's say Zion is not too happy about going to New Orleans. R.J. Barrett and Zion are very close. So, if they get R.J. Barrett, they could just turn over and just go young real quick and just start their rebuild with Zion and R.J. Barrett and Kevin Knox. That's just the starting point for them. So I can see that easily happening. It's going to happen with the Knicks. I'm just worried that they don't include Mitch. I don't think they will.
So they
have enough.
Yeah. So let me get to that. So what are you willing to give up for Anthony Davis?
Look, this is what I'm willing to give. I'm willing to give up the third pick, one of the picks that we got from Dallas, which is on 2021. I would give up DSJ, Kevin Knox. And that should get it done. The two picks from Dallas. Knox, DSJ, and our third pick this year. So that's enough to get it done.
You think that's enough to get it done?
Because he's not going to sign an extension with other than New York or LA, and they're not going to trade him to LA. So that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen. I can see that going down. I mean, Mark is going to get his dream come true. That big three, that's AD, KD, and Kyrie. That's a real possibility there, right there. So I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm looking in the YouTube chat. I see some people. Famo says Dennis Smith Jr., Knox, third pick, and the Dallas pick. Hey, Paul 718 says, I guess in response to Famos, he said, not Dennis Smith Jr., trade Frank. I seen someone else say trade anybody. Siobhan Robinson said trade anything not named Mitch.
But think about it from the Pelicans' perspective right here, right? You're talking about a complete rebuild, and you're starting with Zion, Kevin Knox, and R.J. Barrett. I mean, three players playing at their positions.
Right.
And I mean, it's a completely new rebuild. It's they can sell that to their fan base.
Yeah.
They can just start over. And then the Knicks, hey, KD, AD, and Kyrie. That's it, man. It works for everybody.
And listen, here's the thing with R.J. Barrett. If they were to, first of all, this is the thing for the Knicks with R.J. Barrett, right? I personally like Ja Morant, but I'm not upset with R.J. Barrett, right? R.J. Barrett was, before Zion became Zion in college, R.J. Barrett was the consensus #1 pick.
You know who R.J. reminds me of? He reminds me of Scottie Pippen.
Pippen? Okay.
His game reminds me a lot of Scottie Pippen.
Okay. All right.
And obviously he's not going to be the defender Scottie Pippen is, but if he can be half the defender Scottie Pippen is, which I think he will be.
Yeah,
I mean, RJ's going to be a solid player.
I thought he was kind of like, Ron Artest. He reminded me kind of a little bit of Ron Artest when Ron Artest played for St. John's. And Ron Artest had some years where he was an all-star in the league. So, but Ron Artest maybe was a better defender. Well, not maybe, he was a better defender. Ron Artest could give you 20 and stop the person he's defending from getting 20. And I'm gonna come back to you, Ernesto. I'm gonna come back to you. We're talking the NBA lottery aftermath, folks. A lot of stuff going on. Of course, the Knicks name is thrown all over the place all day long. I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos of fans falling out of their seats and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Some of that stuff is just fake. People are doing it so that they can try to get a few likes or whatever. But anyway, man, I'm gonna come over here to Guermo.
Yo,
Guermo, what's good, man? You went to I know you went to a draft party or whatever or a lottery party last night.
It was crazy, man. It was fun. I saw Marcus Camby. He was serving some food, I think tacos, some crap. That dude is tall as hell. Larry Johnson was there. I think he was a little drunk, but he was cool. Like it was fun, man. But I just laughed, Sim. I laughed. I wanted to tune in when you were doing the show with ET, but
with the entertainer, man.
Sim, this is divine intervention, man. You don't need a tank. Don't tank. But you know what? I say this, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
I actually feel sorry for Zion because he's not going to get any chance to develop. I think if he came to the Knicks, yes, he would have had some space to develop behind two stars. But honestly, RJ Barrett coming to the Knicks, I think this is perfect for Fizzo or perfect to see if Fizzo can actually coach up guys, because he's going to get two guys, most likely, and Katie and Kyrie, just assume they come in, who are somewhat head cases but extremely talented. He's going to get an RJ Barrett who could be a diamond in the rough, a guy who you could probably say is the most talented player in this draft. At worst, he's probably a Terrence Jones. At best, so I say he's Harden. I don't know about that. And we have so much leverage, Sim, in terms of the Mavericks draft picks and all that stuff. We have leverage, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
This is a time where we can literally sit back and create a team that's for now and for the future. We don't have to sell these parts for Anthony. I don't believe in that for the whole Anthony Davis thing, because, again, that big three model, Sim, me and Vic were just talking about this. Is that thing going to work? Does that system still work? Or is it you get one or two really special guys and build around them? You have your Mitchell Robinsons around them. I know people, whatever, Dotson. You could get a Danny Green. You pick up guys to complement your two stars in Kyrie and KD, so you don't end up with a Celtics situation.
And see,
listen, have 5 guys on the floor who think they should have the ball 50% of the time.
Yeah, so. And listen, I agree with you. I don't know, especially if KD leaves the Warriors. I'm not sure you need to have 3. The game has changed since LeBron went to Miami, right?
Exactly.
And the big 3. The game is. This basketball game it changes so rapidly, right? But the game has changed since then. So I'm not sure that you've got to have 3 Hall of Fame level players.
No. And
I don't know if you have to. I think it's more important, the way the game is changing, it's more important that you have a team. Yes, you do need to have at least 2. Right? I'm going to say at least 2. You probably need to have at least 2 guys that can create and get a shot when it's necessary. But it's more important, I think, to have a team than to do it the way Miami did it back then.
And to speak about your Miami thing, you just said there were three big stars. Remember, Dwayne Wade, after his first year, had to kowtow to LeBron James and change his game to suit LeBron James. Chris Bosh was literally, if you take out Tim Duncan, was probably the best power forward in the game outside of Tim Duncan at that time. You say a little bit after Kevin Garnett, but he had to change his game to he's basically a space up spot. I don't say space shooter, a more of a perimeter player versus playing down low, where he averaged 20 and 10 with the Toronto Raptors. Take into account they're all 3 friends, so you're not gonna. That's what happened in Miami. That's a rarity where 3 guys are good friends for life. They can all play. We're not going to get that anymore. So look, I'm hoping a team like even the Warriors this year, Sim. If you see how the Warriors are playing, they're playing like the old Warriors, where the ball's moving around. Guys are playing positions that they find, Draymond Green and Iguodala taking up the ball again, facilitating to the shooters. The shooters are playing more on ball too. I want to even a team like the Bucks. The Bucks show you, hey, yes, we got Giannis, who's a great talent, but that system. A great system, like Vivek says, a system where they literally were putting spots on the floor where hosts were saying, hey, we need guys on a spot at every time on the floor. Guys need to be in this area. Stuff like that. So let me Fizdale to coach up these guys. Everybody said this is a year, so we can't judge him for last year. All right, so the tank is over. Let's get to the real nitty gritty, man. Even if we don't get KD and Kyrie, this guy has to coach up these guys, man. RJ Barrett, I want to see develop from RJ Barrett. I want to see develop from whatever point guards we get. I want to see a system. I want to see philosophy. I want to see a culture here, man. There's no more excuses, man. We tank. We have the leverage. We have the picks. No more excuses, man.
Let me ask you this. I'm looking at a couple of super chats. Big shout out to Big Freezy. Thank you for the super chat. Said trading everything for AD is hustling backwards.
Yep.
Okay.
Agreed.
Mighty Knicks said AD and Kyrie will be a huge mistake. Remember this. Thank you for the super chat, Mighty. And then Payback Carter. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. He said, let's not forget AD is a free agent next summer. Why trade for him now when you could get him next year? I believe the Knicks will play their cards right.
And there's no need to give up for AD. There's no, like you said, I don't feel good. I know people are going to kill me for this in the chat. I do not feel good giving up Mitchell Robinson. I'm sorry, man. That kid, the way he plays, I was watching highlights of him.
I think everybody agrees with you. I think everybody agrees with you about Mitchell Robinson.
No,
I think
I'm not touching that dude.
I think everybody agrees with you.
A New York Knick. All these guys are coming in transplants. Hopefully they come and bring us a ring. Mitchell Robinson is hard. He's the type of dude. When you see him in the second half of the season, Sim, after all these blocks, when he was getting great possessions, like he wore it on his sleeve, man. And we haven't had that in years. We haven't, man. I'm sorry. I'm not giving up Mitchell.
And now Payback Carter, thank you for the super chat again. He said, because anywhere the Pelicans trade Anthony Davis, he isn't going to resign there. Nick should just play it out and wait. If they trade him to the Lakers, he's going to resign with the Lakers. I think maybe, I don't know if he wants to be in Boston, but I think if they trade him to the Lakers, he definitely resigns to the Lakers. Here's going to be the thing.
That's fine. Let him go to Lakers. LeBron James is not a
if you really want Anthony Davis on this team, if the Knicks really want him on this team, right? Then if they trade him to the Lakers, that's done. Then now you're waiting for the next person, which the next person to be a free agent. Listen, I don't know what's going to be on the Knicks' mind and what they're thinking. You know what I mean? It's a wait and see game. I'm still undecided on whether or not I would want to give up the number 3 pick, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., the 2021 pick. I'm still undecided. I see both sides of the coin. I haven't made a decision on which way I would really go yet.
I'm
not sure.
Next guy?
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question? Now, everything seems to be set, whatever, blah, blah, right? Everyone thinks it's going to be Zion, Ja Morant, RJ Barrett. Would you give up, obviously, the first this year and say a Knox and a second to move up to number 2 to get Ja Morant?
No,
I know people want to kill me.
I wouldn't.
Person agrees with me, and that's Jerry West. Jerry West said that Ja Morant is a special talent, and I see it with this guy, Sim. I see it, Sim. I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe he. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure if the separation of talent is that much. Right? If the separation of talent was that much, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm just not sure if the separation of talent is that much to where you say, I'm going to give up Knox and trade the 3rd pick so I can move up to get that 2nd pick. I'm not sure. I don't know. I want to see, what goes down with the combine, and we'll see what workouts look like. And I'm sure the Knicks, when they're gonna bring both guys in for workouts. You know what I'm saying? And see what they think. I'm not sure that the separation of talent is that much. Just like, people talk about trading down, and then my question there is RJ Barrett being that 3rd person, the third, what people say is, there's 3 almost guaranteed all-stars, Zion, Ja Morant, and RJ Barrett. That's what the pundits and analysts say, right? Is the drop-off from RJ Barrett in number 4 and number 5, 6, 7, 8, is it so much that if you trade down, you're really going to lose out on something that could be special? Or is it closer than we know? And if you trade down, you may not. If you trade down and you get Jared Culver, right, or something like, you get Culver. Are you giving up a surefire all-star, and now you're just getting a guy that maybe makes an all-star team 1 or 2 years? versus a perennial all-star. It's going to be hard to say. It's going to be hard to say, man. Let me come over here to JJP. And I'm going to get back around.
Can y'all hear me?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Long time listener. First
Appreciate
time
it.
on appearing. I moved from Brooklyn to Atlanta.
Okay. All right.
Between last year and this year, and so I just been waiting to, get my own place. And I'm here, man. Just had a newborn on top of that.
Congratulations, bro. Congratulations,
Appreciate
man.
that. Appreciate
Congratulations,
that, man.
boy or girl?
Boy, man.
All right.
Got a daughter. Now I got a boy. And I had to get her one of these. Had to get him a one.
There you go. All right. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Y'all see the stats on there?
There it is. Hold up. Keep that up there for a second. I'm going to blow it up so people can see it. So everybody can see it. There you go. Yeah. Nice.
There's an Oakley one too, man, but nobody got that off the registry, so I got to get that myself.
Where'd you get that from?
Amazon.
I might, I got a granddaughter, man, and I got a grandson that was born just a few months ago. I might need to get my grandson one of those.
Granddaughter, boy, girl, don't matter. She, get one of these.
Yeah, I might need it. Well, I say my grandson because, my granddaughter, she's walking around now.
Oh,
my grandson was just born, so I might have to cop one of those. I like that.
Yeah. The Oakley one's hard too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But the whole draft thing, man. I'm gonna get metaphysical with it.
Okay.
Yeah. Energy works. In a way where if the momentum is swinging towards the Knicks and they were going to get the number one pick, they would have to been doing things that would, for years, 2, maybe 3 years, that would have swung in a way where they get the number 2, the number 1. So to get the number 3, it's already swinging in the right direction. So I wasn't mad, but, I had to hit the fridge real hard when I heard number 3. I did, no lie. My lady thought something was wrong.
Yeah.
But it's all good, man. Yeah. Yes, I think it's just a momentum thing. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I can imagine you. They're like, we just moved in. What are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right, man. They're gonna be good. I mean, I trusted what Scott Perry and Steve Mills and those guys are doing. Well, Scott Perry mainly, what those guys are doing so far.
Exactly.
Exactly. Where are you with trading for Anthony Davis? Where are you with that?
Man. I'm not with it, man. Anybody but Mitch, man. Anybody but Knox and Mitch, as far as I'm concerned, man. Knox especially, and I know a lot. And I hold on, let me mute Grandma real quick. Sim, you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah. Knox with that silky smooth jumper, man. It's only a matter of time. It's like, it's like I was saying when I saw him in summer league. Like the kid is he's just too smooth and too calm to not keep him around. He's media savvy. He's got the size. He's got the jumper. He's got those Bambi legs. But aside from that, man, that all things that's quote unquote wrong with Knox now are completely fixable.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to get rid of him either. So as far as I'm concerned, no AD, at least not right now. Trying free agency, but we'll be all right.
Okay.
We'll be all right.
Okay. How are you with free agency? I mean, do you?
Oh man.
Are you trying to pull in two?
Absolutely.
KD, Kyrie, or however the chips fall. Okay.
Absolutely, man. I would say definitely KD, but I would even. I'm. Hold on one second. Let me mute these fellas real quick. I've been looking at the highlights for this kid Darius Garland, man, and he's like Kyrie light.
Mm-hmm.
He's Kyrie light, man, all the way. So all he has to do is really work on his defense, but Kyrie can't play defense neither. So my whole thing is, if I were the fellas in the room or ladies, go ahead and check out Garland, man. Check out those highlights, and
Yeah.
I really don't see the difference. The only thing is his handle isn't as strong, but it's damn good. It's close enough.
Yeah, you concerned about? I don't know. What was his injury this year?
Meniscus.
Meniscus.
Meniscus
Right.
Yeah. Which is, you can deal with that. You can deal with that, especially at his age. It's.
Yeah, hopefully, at his age, hopefully, usually the younger that you get injured, the better chance you have of recovery because your body is still growing and those type of things. Give me a second. Just want to a couple people. Shifty Lee, Major. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Thank you for the super chat. You said, I'm hearing the Knicks will sign one max free agent and fill up the roster. And then big shout out to my boy, the Entertainer. Said, what's up, Knicks fans? Me and the Entertainer last night, we did like a double show. I was live on his show. He was live on my show. We were both streaming at the same time, on our separate channels, but we were working together. So it was pretty dope, man. If you guys can, check it out on his channel, check it out on my channel. Definitely go subscribe to the Entertainer's channel, man. And we're looking to do that a little bit more often too. The double stream thing. It was pretty fun. It's pretty cool. The next thing I know, we talked a lot about Zion. We talked about Anthony Davis. We, obviously had to get those things out the way because it's on people's minds. But the next thing coming up for the Knicks, and the next thing that they've got to deal with and start working with is the NBA Draft Combine. Right, so you got all the players that's entered into the draft combine are in Chicago, to participate in the combine. This is where they're going to, measure, check players' speed and measure their jumping ability and all that kind of stuff, and see how tall they are. And I'm sure tomorrow, and I think there's already been some stuff coming out. But definitely a lot tomorrow. They'll get a chance to play a little bit, but you'll start hearing some things tomorrow. And of course, there's going to be scouts, and there's going to be coaches, and there's going to be people there, and there's going to be conversations going on about draft picks and this and that. So I'm sure we'll hear a lot of feedback from the draft combine tomorrow. Right, so there's going to be ESPN. It's going to be on ESPN2. Coverage on ESPN2 tomorrow and Friday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. You'll be able to, see coverage of the draft combine. And, it's powered by Under Armour. All right. And, there'll be interviews, and you guys have seen it before. All right, but there's 66 players that are going to be at the draft combine. Right, and a couple of our guys are definitely going to be at the combine. Well, I don't want to say our guys that the Knicks would be interested in are going to be at the combine. And of course, we are going to, I'm going to, do some videos and talk about the combine and we, just stuff that feedback we get from people at the combine, from players. We'll talk about it. Some people that the Knicks may be interested in at the combine. You got R.J. Barrett. Right, he's going to be at the combine, of course. The Knicks definitely have interest in R.J. Barrett. Ja Morant's going to be there. The Knicks got interest in Ja Morant. Jarrett Culver. I'm not writing Jarrett Culver off as someone that the Knicks might consider. I don't know if he's a third pick. but I'm not writing him off as someone that the Knicks would consider. And if they do consider Jarrett Culver, maybe they do trade down. Right? Cam Reddish. I got some people checked off. And I was going to check off Darius Garland as well. I heard people talking about him, but then I had to get on a phone call with a hotel that I was trying to book, and I didn't get a chance, and so I didn't check him off. But looking at the list that's up here, if you guys, that's in the chat, you can see the list that's up here. Some other guys up here that you think the Knicks should be looking at, watching for at the combine over the next 2 days. You know, if you know, some other guys you think of, let me know who you think it is. And, we're going to break down these guys. Now we really have an idea on how we can break down players, right? And how they would fit with the Knicks and why the Knicks might go after this guy or that guy. So we'll do some videos breaking down some of these players as well. We're going to open up our war room again. We had the war room last year. We're going to do the war room again. That'll be on my website. All right, where, we'll kind of rank what players we think the Knicks like and who we should draft, and you guys will get a chance to vote and all that. And it should be fun. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because all this stuff, right now we're in a high peak time for the New York Knicks. Right? Even though you got the NBA playoffs going on and you see Milwaukee defeat Toronto tonight, this is a high time for the New York Knicks. The combine is here. We're working up for the draft. Scott Perry, Steve Mills, the Knicks scouts, they're going to be out scouting, beating the bushes, trying to find players. We got a 55th pick. We got to find some players for that 55th pick. Right? They're going to be negotiating, talking, trying to move up in the draft, maybe, or, not move up to the second or first pick, but maybe move up into, the lower, lower first round or early second round, because I'm pretty sure they're not too happy with that 55th pick. All right. So yeah, there's going to be a lot. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. You get a notification when I go live, when I drop a video, because they're going to be coming. Plenty of them are going to be coming. And then, of course, tomorrow night, the Front Stoop. I'm going to be on live with the Front Stoop. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel, folks. I'm going to get back to the video. I'm going to take a couple of phone calls. I haven't taken any phone calls yet. All right? Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on with you, my man? How you feeling?
Good.
Hey, talk to me, man. The NBA draft combine is tomorrow. Any specific players that you really, of course, you got the usual. You got Ja Morant, you got R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, Culver, some of those guys, DeAndre Hunter. Then I'm sure the Knicks are going to take a look at all these guys. Anybody that you think the Knicks should really take a look at?
Well, I'm not really a Knicks fan, so to speak. So, but I'm actually from New Orleans, and I'm like a Pelicans fan, stuff like that. Okay. And so, I since we talk about Pelicans might be getting the number 3 pick, I'm kind of looking at Ja Morant and also R.J. Barrett, because they might be a superstar one day.
Well, the Pelicans have got the number 1 pick.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying? So you're saying the possibility of them trading AD and then they might get the number 3 pick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, as a Pelicans fan, how do you feel about Anthony Davis right now?
I still like him. So he started once he requested the trade, and then once that video came out of him flicking a fan off, the people of New Orleans, we've really started to not like him. Yeah. And then now, since we have the number 1 overall pick, I think everyone's saying that, we should just trade him, just get him out of here and then rebuild with Zion. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's kind of just really gone bad from Anthony Davis's part to the fans in New Orleans. It's just bad now. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. It was kind of now, what would you give up for AD?
We've been having that discussion. I think a lot of Knicks fans are willing to give up, of course, the third pick, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr. or Frank Ntilikina, the 2021 or the 2023 pick that we have from the Dallas Mavericks. I think fans are willing to give up those. How are people in New Orleans feeling about Zion Williamson right now?
Oh, they're ecstatic. They're absolutely ecstatic.
Yeah, I bet.
But they're starting to have rumors about him, actually popping out of the draft and just going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Because as he said that he wished the Knicks got the number 1 overall pick. But
Yeah.
I'm a little confused by that because the Knicks also did say that they were going to trade that pick for AD.
Well, I guess it was out there in the air that maybe they would trade the number 1 pick, but I think the Knicks did come out and say that they wouldn't trade the pick. Well, I don't know if they came out and said that. Adrian Wojnarowski said it on ESPN that the Knicks weren't going to trade it if they got Zion Williamson. But you know what? Right now, it's really been a lot of rumors. I don't think because Zion Williamson doesn't even have an agent. I don't think he's really come out and said anything. So I think in New Orleans, fans, you guys should probably just relax and wait until you actually hear from Zion. It's mostly been analysts and people kind of saying we don't know if Zion really wants to be in New Orleans. So but I don't think he said anything about it yet.
Yeah. We might hear more about it tomorrow. With the combine,
exactly.
Interviews maybe.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. Hey, what's your name? What's your name, my man?
I'm Josh.
Josh. Hey, thanks for calling in, Josh. And look, I know this is a Knicks channel, but you got a reason to call in since the Knicks and the Pelicans may do a lot of talking. So feel free to call in, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good luck, my man. All right. So you guys hear it. Pelicans fans aren't happy with Anthony Davis. So something's gonna shake loose. He's not gonna be in New Orleans next year. I don't think he's gonna be in New Orleans. It's hard. It's gonna be hard to patch it up. But Kobe did it in LA. I'm not saying it's impossible. Kobe did it in LA. They were able to patch it up. They went on to win championships. Right, so we'll see. We'll see how that shakes loose, man. We'll see how it shakes loose. All right. I want to get around and see what people, are there some special players that you want that you think the Knicks should really pay attention to, especially looking at this 55th pick. It's so far down in the draft. That 55th pick, but you can find players there, right? It happens every once in a while. You get players, last pick in the draft, end up being stars. Nate?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Who do you think the Knicks need to be paying attention to at the NBA Combine?
Well, obviously, the obvious ones are R.J. Barrett. That seems to be consensus for New York. I think they're going to really look at Hunter and Culliver because they're good athletic wing guys that have, strong defensive ability, along with Cam Reddish. They're pretty high on Cam Reddish too.
I heard that I heard that they're interested in Cam Reddish and they're kind of high on Cam Reddish.
They really like Cam Reddish, which I can see why they could trade down and get another, maybe a pick or a player, and still get their guy if they're really high on Cam Reddish, if they want to trade. I'm actually interested in Darius Garland because, I was thinking about it while you were talking to that guy. Let me ask you this question, Sim.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what is our biggest need on the team?
Well, we have a lot of needs on the team. On the team.
What's our biggest need, like right now? Like we absolutely have no depth or need to fill it. I would say the 4-man.
Oh yeah, really okay. I agree. That 4 spot is probably the biggest need. The hope is that KD fills that spot, right?
Right, and then knocks it to 3.
Yeah, that's the hope that KD fills that spot, but we'll see.
So unfortunately, 4-man in this draft are very weak. There's not a lot of big guys. I think the biggest 4 guy is that Jackson Hayes guy from Texas. Everybody else is kind of undersized or that tweener status. You know, I'm gonna throw something out there, and I don't know if it's even a strong possibility or not, but I could see if the Knicks are impressed by Garland, I could see them entertaining drafting Garland over Barrett. Because we need a point guard so bad. I mean, we have no true point guard on our team. And let's just say Garland has a great combine and, you know, in the pickup games, you know, just excels. Like people say he might be like a Kyrie kind of mold. Well, you get a guy that's, you know, other than meniscus thing, I mean, guy that's hopefully fairly healthy, that has that kind of game like Kyrie. He's going to be cheaper too.
Well,
you know,
yeah, because he'd be a rookie, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but maybe they go a different route, you know, because, I mean, the thing is, if you're talking about bringing in KD, AD, you know, whoever else, and you don't get Kyrie, who's going to be our point guard? I mean, are you really going to trust Dennis Smith to run the show?
Well, I mean, there'll be moves. You know, it's hard to just ask that question, who's going to be the point guard, because there's going to be so many moves that go on between now and you know, the end of free agency, you know, to really
but you got to
shape our team, you know.
But you got to think just kind of conventional wisdom. You think if we for some reason don't get Kyrie, because I'm a believer that Kyrie's going to the Lakers. LeBron is going to be on his doorstep July 1st asking him to play for LA. They need help. And they're friends already and they've played together. I personally think Kyrie is going to LA. So the thing is, if we don't get Kyrie,
I'm gonna say this. On First Take yesterday or whenever it was, the questions were, would Kyrie go to LA? On this show, I think it was Kyrie's father or someone in Kyrie's camp texted Stephen A. Smith and said Kyrie is not going to LA. And I believe it. I believe that happened. Let me come back around to you, Nate. Let me come back around to you. All right. Back to the NBA Combine, though. Guys, anybody that you really want to see? Mark, I'm going to come to you. Any guys you really want to see the Knicks check out? Talking about the NBA Combine.
Deandre Hunter.
Okay, Deandre Hunter. All right. Why? Tell me why.
Yeah. When you watch him in the finals, number one, he's 6'8", and 235, wingspan of 7'2". The kid can defend, and I think he can defend on NBA levels. What he did in the finals, just the intensity he played with, the shots he took, I think he has a decent upside to be great. His ceiling could be as good as like Chris Middleton. I think he could be as good as Chris Middleton. But his body is he's ready for the NBA. He's tough in the paint. He grabs rebounds. He ain't no scrub. He ain't soft. Culver's another. I think Culver has a little bit of upside than most people think because his playmaking ability. I want to see him in space because with college basketball, you don't get the space for him to really operate and to really see his playmaking ability in space. But you've seen a little bit of it in the finals. Him and my third one would be Garland because he has a lot of point guard skills. He get to the paint. He can shoot the basketball. He can shoot. And then he has great handles. And he can play off the ball really well. A lot of people think he's a ball dominant guard. Nah, he can play off the ball very, very well. He could play in the system very, very well. So those are my big three. But DeAndre Hunter is the one that I really, 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 really took back and started paying attention to because I think he got some juice in. Okay,
and what you guys are seeing on the screen right now is a list of players that are going to be at the NBA Combine. The NBA Combine, you'll be able to see glimpses of the Combine on ESPN2 tomorrow from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. You'll be able to check it out, interviews, be able to see, check out player stats and all those type of things. So that's what you're seeing now. There's a list of players that's going to be on, that's going to be at the NBA Combine. There's 66 players going to be at the Combine tomorrow. I got checked off a few players that the Knicks would probably really pay attention to. Zion Williamson obviously is going to be at this Combine. I'm not sure if the Knicks are really going to pay attention to Zion that much. But what'd you say?
The Knicks gonna look at the wings. Wings. That's what Fizdale wants. It's the straight wings that they look at.
They're gonna look at wings, right? They're gonna look at wings.
There's no bigs in this league. There's no bigs, and there's really no point guards in this draft. It's nothing but wings when you really look at the landscape of it.
Yeah.
But Deandre Hunter is the guy. I would not be mad if something magical happened.
Right.
And he landed in our laps somehow, some way.
Yeah. More fallout from the NBA draft lottery. For those who are just joining us, we really just been kind of going over fallout from the NBA draft lottery. The Knicks, as you may know, traded Kristaps Porzingis, and they have picks from that trade, which was solidified last night. The Mavericks had a top 5 protected pick that was going to be traded to Atlanta. Well, if it landed in the top 5, the Mavericks would keep the pick. Because the Mavericks pick came in at number 10, it goes to Atlanta, which means the Knicks now get the Mavs 2021 unprotected, and then the Mavs 2023 protected. Now that 2023 pick, since it is protected, if the Knicks do not get that pick by 2025, the Knicks will get 2 second-round picks from the Mavs.
I'll trade that fast.
All right, and of course, you probably know that the Knicks have the 3rd pick in the NBA draft. And we've just been discussing all night. What are the Knicks going to do with that pick? They're going to keep it. They're going to trade it. Who are they going to draft? But stay with us. Make sure you stay with us, because with Nothing But Knicks, we're going to be following draft coverage. We're going to be following the Knicks throughout the entire off season. Right? So make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you get a notification anytime that we're live, drop a video, whatever it is. All right? Because we are going to be on it. This is going to be a big off season for the New York Knicks. It's a hot off season. Mark, stay live. I'm keeping you live. I'm going to answer this phone call, okay?
All right, Brody.
Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's going on, Sam?
And what's going on with you, my man?
Hey, I've been watching this. I've been watching you on YouTube, and I'm hearing all the Knicks fans just panicking because we didn't get Zion Williamson. I'm just calling to say, man, we just need to relax.
Relax.
And you would just relax, man, because we have 7 draft picks in the next 5 years, according to what you just showed, right?
Yep. That's right.
And we have 7 draft picks. That's like being the Boston Celtics without the roster. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't sleep on R.J. Barrett either, because if you think about it, when Trey Jones went down, who was supposed to be the top point guard in the nation, according to ESPN, right? When he went down, R.J. Barrett was the one that had to take over and facilitate towards everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when Zion went down, it was RJ that had to hold the fort down until Zion came back. So that says something about RJ, even though when people are saying, oh, he's Canadian and he's like an Andrew Wiggins, no, this kid can ball, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. He can ball. I agree with you.
He can ball. So, and he's a leader, I think he'll be a great fit for the Knicks. But even if they do decide to trade down, I wouldn't mind calling up Atlanta and be like, you know what? We'll give you the 3rd pick. We'll take your 2 picks in the first round, and we could start grabbing some talent. Cam Reddish could be there. P.J. Washington could be there. Rui Hachimura could be there. There's talent there. I'm not gonna be like everybody else and say it's Zion and nobody else.
Okay.
When I was watching that draft lottery, it was sort of like how you say, awkward, because it was all focused on Zion when there's like over 30 players in there getting ready to be drafted.
Yeah.
And it was just all focused on Zion, and it was bad on ESPN.
There was a huge focus on Zion Williamson. Everything. I mean, it just shows you the power of his marketability right now.
Yeah, and that's why I understand why, you know, a lot of Knicks fans are so upset, because, you know, it's been since 1985 since Patrick Ewing, that we never had that type of player to be the face of our franchise. You know, you see LeBron going to Cleveland. You're seeing KD going to Seattle first, then it became OKC. You got the Russell Westbrooks, the James Hardens, you know, and everybody. And I understand Knicks fans is like, you know what, why not us? But you never know, you know. I mean, I'm not comparing RJ to this guy, but Jordan did get picked third. Right.
Jordan got picked. So let me see. He got the number third. The number one pick that year was, who's the number one pick?
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem Olajuwon was the number one pick, and then
it was
the other center. I can't think of his name right now.
Sam Bowie.
Sam Bowie.
There you go.
Pick Sam. And listen, Sam Bowie had a decent career, but geez, Portland. He picked Sam Bowie.
You know what I mean? So it's like we're in a good spot right now, because we have so much, like, I mean, think about it. When's the last time the Knicks were in a position where, all right, we have the third pick in this draft, we have good young talent who's not even over 20 years old yet. Not even 20 years old yet. And we have 7 picks, first-round picks for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of cap space.
Yeah.
So even if we do get someone like a Kevin Durant and only KD, we could be fine. So why should we blow it up again just to get Anthony Davis? Yeah. When you like Scott Perry and Steve Mills said in that meeting, when he was being asked by Knicks fans themselves, we're not gonna trade somebody they know they can get in free agency. So why would you say, oh, give up Knox, give all these players just to get Anthony Davis?
Well, you know we're gonna see what happens, and the reason why I'm saying it that way is because if Scott Perry knows that Kevin Durant is coming and whomever else is coming with Kevin Durant, and he's able to swing a trade for Anthony Davis without chewing into that cap space, and put together a team, because listen, Kevin Durant comes here, he's not waiting around to build. I'm sorry. He's not waiting around to build. And I think Scott Perry's they're gonna, you know, once you get KD, you're in win now mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're in win now mode. You know, so it makes it tough. It definitely makes it tough.
I understand it makes it tough. I get it. But all right, let's say if the Knicks do get KD and Kyrie this summer, right? And let's say by draft time, all of a sudden the Knicks decide, you know what? We see a lot of talent in this draft. We can trade down with Atlanta, get the 2 picks. And let's say, in hindsight, we get Cam Reddish or someone like one of those wings, like those forwards like PJ Washington. Even if DeAndre Hunter happens to be there, so you're looking at Kyrie, Cam, KD, Hunter, and Mitch Robinson as your starting 5. Wouldn't that be a good summer?
That ain't happening.
That
ain't happening.
I mean, it would. Mark, did you have a comment? You want to make a comment real quick? I think Mark wants to make a comment to you, bro.
Let me make a comment.
Yeah.
Y'all not understanding K's situation and where he's at in his career. The young players, he wants to be in the playoffs. He's not coming from Golden State to come to the Knicks to wait on to draft young guys to have them make some mental mistakes in the playoffs. He needs ready now guys. If you're watching the playoffs from right now, there's not a lot of young guys that are playing right now. There's not. He's not coming here to play with young guys. We don't have time for that. We have KD for 4 prime years, and you have to surround him with guys that know how to play, that know how to hit shots. It's the same thing with LeBron. If he wanted, he could have kept Wiggins. There's a reason, because he wants guys that know how to play. Period. So if y'all don't want KD, then we can rebuild. But if you want KD, everything has to go. Everything, and we on his timeline. It ain't the other way around.
I hear what you're saying. Can I rebuttal on that, man?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. You mentioned LeBron, right? Mm-hmm. When I remember when LeBron had that decision that he went to Miami, he won those 2 rings, but he didn't get that much respect that he deserved when he had those 2 rings, right? In Miami.
Yeah, that was his learning curve.
It was when It was when he got to Cleveland and he won that ring that he himself considered himself the GOAT. Mm-hmm. It was he himself who he considered himself the GOAT. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me that, all right, let's say if KD leaves Golden State. I mean, we already saw what Golden State was without KD. It was still Steph's team. It's always going to be Steph's team no matter what. Yeah, KD wants to go to his own team and rebuild his legacy. He wins one championship in that tenure that he's with New York. He's good for life. He's a legend for life in New York. Period. Done.
All right. So
am I wrong?
Let me say something to you. No, you're not wrong. But this is what you're missing. LeBron went to Miami to get the blueprint to know how to win. And what did he do when he came to Cleveland? He saw that Cleveland had talent. He seen that Kyrie was in his 4th year and became an all-star. I want you to go back and I want you to go look at the all-star game with him and Kyrie. He just kept feeding Kyrie the whole time. So he was watching Kyrie the whole time. So he knew if Cleveland got the number 1 pick, he knew that he could have went and got a veteran. He knew he could have went and got a veteran. And what they did, they traded for Kevin Love to get him a 3rd guy because he knew Kyrie was this good. So what KD did, he went to Golden State to go get the blueprint. So now when you hear him on the phone, calling guys, it's to call guys to come here and come win here now, because it's going to be a task. Because guess what? Golden State is still going to be formidable. You have to worry about them.
Yes, they are.
You have to worry about them. So we need every firepower that we can get. Golden State would chew young talent. They would chew them up. You want to get players that know how to make reads? Because these players are young. They're not going to be able to make those reads that Golden State run on teams. So you want to get players that are smart, that has IQ, and you can't really trust that into these young players that are coming in now. So the way everything was set up for KD to come here, it's perfect. That's why he's coming here, because everything's set up for him to build his own squad, not with young players, to get who he want to play with. That's why he was never going to come unless we opened up that cap space to get another star who he can trust. It's all about vets when it comes to KD now. He's 31, and we have 4 years. So he knows that he has to win it in his 4 years to maximize that problem. We have 4 years for Kevin Knox. We don't have 4 years for Frank. We don't have 4 years for Dennis Smith. Okay? So that's the reality.
I hear what you're saying.
And to have Anthony Davis, he's better than all these guys put together. You have to stop that. You have to stop that.
Okay. Hey, my man. Hold up, my man. What's your name, my man?
Chris from the Bronx.
Chris. Man. Hey, Chris, I appreciate the call, man. I know I got some other people that want to try to call in, all right? I appreciate the call. Man. Great conversation, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, no doubt. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Yo, Sim, can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, man. Yep.
People don't understand it. It's not like we getting a 30-year-old AD. He's 26, and if he signs a 4-year deal, right? Mm-hmm. We will still have him and Kyrie by the age of 30 to retool around them again. If they want to stay, if they don't want to stay, we can use them as trade assets to get back assets. So it's still a win-win for the Knicks. That's why I ain't tripping. All the foolish, we're gonna be good for the next 5 to 10 years. I'm telling y'all.
I feel you. I want to give a big shout out to my man Entertainer. Thank you again for the super chat. He said, spike that like button. Join the channel. Yeah. We reaching milestones here tonight. 968 people in the chat. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's in the chat. You know, there's a lot of people in here, so I can't really call everybody's name. But if you're listening, you're watching, you're paying attention, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. It's 1:15 in the morning. We're talking NBA. We're talking Knicks. We're talking about the draft. We're talking about the lottery. I appreciate it. So subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell. You get a notification anytime that I'm live, and I'm going to be keeping you updated throughout the New York Knicks off season. All right, so I appreciate you. I'm going to get to one more phone call. Then we're going to look at a couple of mock drafts. All right. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's going on, man? It's JJ from Brooklyn. How's everything?
What's going on, JJ? I'm good. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I'm really trying hard to figure out how we could get AD without giving up Mitch, man. Like, I just don't know if it's possible.
Well, that's why we got. It's gonna be tough because if the Knicks really do wanna, if they're queuing in on Anthony Davis and they really want to bring Anthony Davis in, and I understand where people are saying that they don't want to bring Anthony Davis in. They want to wait until he's a free agent. I get that. I really do get that. Yeah. So I definitely understand it. But if you're talking about bringing in Kevin Durant, you got to put some pieces around him. Kevin, you got to put pieces around him. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be. He's not waiting to build. You know what I mean? So, but how do we get him? I don't. Can you get him without Anthony Davis? I don't know.
I don't see it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you get Anthony Davis without Mitchell Robinson? I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I don't see it either. I don't see how you could. I think it's got to start with the number 3 pick and Mitch. Knox, Smith, Keno. That's not enough. Even with Barrett, the 3rd pick, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
Especially with the Lakers now getting another valuable trade chip with the 4th pick.
Yeah.
Ball and Ingram and Kuzma. That's a way better package.
Well, the thing I'll say,
unless we give up Mitch, if we give up Mitch, it's close.
Well, the thing that I'll say about
have a better package.
Yeah, the thing that I'll say about the 4th pick is that there's a separation between the 3rd pick and the 4th pick. There's definitely
for sure.
There's a separation, definitely. And so I'm not sure if that 4th pick is going to be as enticing as the 3rd pick.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if we give up Mitch in the deal, that's the best package for sure. With the 3rd pick, yeah, we will definitely be able to get Davis if we gave up Mitch and the 3rd pick.
Yeah. Just a reminder,
folks. Also, one other thing I wanted to say, if I could, about people were saying, "Oh, I wanted Morant. We should trade up for Morant." We were never going to draft a point guard. We're going for Kyrie. There's no need for another point guard. You know what I'm saying?
I
think we were taking Barrett at 2. If we had the 2nd pick, we were taking Barrett. For everything we're hearing, right? We were probably getting Kyrie, so we're not going to draft the point guard regardless.
Well, I think. I'll say this: if we had the number 2 pick, I get that. I get that, but I think you don't have Kyrie yet, so you're going after Kyrie. You don't have him yet.
I'm saying if everything we're saying that Kyrie's the main target, you know what I mean. So what's the point of drafting a point guard if we're very certain we're getting Kyrie?
Yeah,
that's fun.
Just a reminder to everyone: ESPN2 tomorrow will have coverage of the NBA Draft Combine. It'll be tomorrow and Friday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. So make sure you check it out and check it out. Drop comments. Let me know what you think about the Draft Combine and all that kind of stuff.
What time is that on? What time? I'm sorry. What time you said?
It's on ESPN2 tomorrow and Friday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Oh wow, nice! I'm definitely be checking.
Yeah, so it should be nice. And I seen someone asked a little bit earlier. Will it be live? Yes, I do believe it's going to be live. Yeah. Do believe it's gonna be live. Hey, I appreciate the call, JJ, man.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one, bro.
Yeah, definitely have a good one, and stay tuned in, man, because we're gonna be following. We are definitely gonna be following the Knicks off season this year because it's gonna it's a big one.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, take it easy. Have a good one. All right, let's look at a couple of mock drafts. All right, I'm pulling over right now. NBA Draft.net. We check out some mock drafts. Where do they have people going right now? Obviously, Zion Williamson. They got Zion Williamson number 1. I don't think that's nothing new. We all knew that. I mean, I think that the top 5. I mean, the top 3 players. Everybody kind of knows exactly. I don't want to say exactly, but people have a pretty good idea of where those guys are going to go. So right now, looking at the top 10 for NBA Draft.net, New Orleans taking Zion Williamson, Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant, the New York Knicks, R.J. Barrett, the Los Angeles Lakers, Deandre Hunter, Cleveland Cavaliers, Kobe White, Phoenix, Darius Garland, Chicago Bulls, Jarrett Culver, Atlanta, Cameron Reddish, Washington Wizards, Jackson Hayes, the Atlantic Hawks, Rui Hachimura, Minnesota, Najee Little, Charlotte, Bruno Fernando, Miami, Sekou Diobon, I can't say his last name, I apologize, Boston, Nicole Alexander, and Boston took a hit. I think Boston was looking to move up with that Sacramento pick. They got the 14th pick. I'm pretty sure they were pretty disappointed in that pick. That last caller said something I think was interesting. He talked about the Knicks possibly moving down in the draft. Talking to Atlanta to get Atlanta's 2 picks. Atlanta has the number 8 pick and they have the number 10 pick. Is that something that you would do? Would you consider moving down in the draft? Would you consider moving down in the draft? Let me see. What I want to get to. Nate. Actually, hold up, Nate. Let me get to Isaiah and then let me get to Ernesto. I haven't heard from those guys in a while. Isaiah, would you consider moving down in the draft?
No.
No? Not at all. Why not?
No. I just think, to be honest, this talent level is a major drop from 3 to 4, like you said. 3 to 4 is a major talent drop. I'd rather stick with R.J. Barrett, man. I'd rather stick with that dude versus, maybe striking out and picking one of these other guys. I'm perfectly fine. I wouldn't trade down. Not this draft.
Okay. All right. Not this draft. Not this one. Who do you like below number 3? Just anyone that you think will be a good player. Anyone that you think possibly could be a surprise pick or a player that could possibly, be an all-star. I mean, there's always a sleeper in every draft.
Oh, yeah. So
anyone that you think is going to be a sleeper?
For me, well, I don't think Carver's going to be a sleeper, but I do think he has the potential to be one of the best. He couldn't be one of the best young two-way players in the game if it comes out right. I'm really curious about. I'm curious about that kid from France. I can't pronounce his name. I know you try to say his name. I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
But I've been hearing a lot of good things about him, and I know everybody's looking for the next Giannis. And I know they said particularly his body type would be like a Giannis. So I'm actually very curious about him. I like Boa. I just don't like his foot injury. That scares me. But I think Boa has the potential to be a really good player if he puts on weight. Who else? I'll say Cam Reddish, man. I think if Cam Reddish has a real chance to be a star if everything go right for him, man. And let's just say he comes out like what's his name, like Devin Booker. Devin Booker wasn't really a good college player, but he's blossomed into an NBA player. So maybe that could be for Cam Reddish. Who else? That kid Hunter. I think DeAndre Hunter could be really good. Yeah, that's to me. Those are the guys, man. I think Cam Reddish might be a sleeper, and I think Bol might be a sleeper, and that kid from France might be the real sleeper.
Okay, I do like Jared Culver. I like Jared. I feel like Jared Culver could be I feel like Jared Culver could be Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I do.
I can see that.
Yeah, I feel like it could be a Jimmy Butler. Just want to remind everyone again, subscribe to the channel. We're over 1,000 people in the chat tonight. Thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. I'm proud of you, son, real quick, man. I'm really proud of you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. We're over 1,000 people in the chat tonight. You know what? Because it's hot, man. People want to. It's the NBA. You love the NBA, man.
Yo,
subscribe to the channel.
I told you this chat was gonna blow up once like the draft and the free agency. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna get this on the app, and I believe in you, man.
Well, you know, it's everybody that's out here that's watching. I give the credit to everybody that's watching. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell. We're talking the NBA mock drafts, the NBA combine. We're talking all NBA draft right now. All right, the NBA Combine, again, the Combine is tomorrow on ESPN2. You can follow it on ESPN2.
Hold on.
One second.
I'm sorry, my bad, baby.
You can follow it on ESPN2. It's going to be live from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Check it out. See who your favorite players are. Who would you draft? Who do you think is going to be a sleeper in the NBA draft? Coming up on June 20th, and hopefully we'll be there. Hopefully we'll be there. Another mock draft. I'm going to get to you, Nate. Another mock draft I want to look at. Tankathon. We follow Tankathon all season long because the Knicks were tanking. Tankathon. They have. Listen, the top 3 is going to be the same just about wherever you go. Zion Williamson to the Pelicans, the Grizzlies with Ja Morant, the Knicks with R.J. Barrett. They got the Lakers taking Jared Culver, the Cleveland Cavaliers taking DeAndre Hunter, the Suns with Cam Reddish. You know what? I think the Suns want a point guard. I don't think they take Cam Reddish. I think they want a point guard. The Chicago Bulls taking Darius Garland, the Atlanta Hawks with Jackson Hayes. You got the Washington Wizards taking Sekou Diomboya. Hopefully I said it right. And then the Hawks at number 10 with Kobe White. Minnesota Timberwolves with Brandon Clark. The Hornets taking Bol. And they're going to get deeper in the draft than NBA Draft.net did. Romeo Langford going to the Heat at 13. Kevin Porter Jr. going to the Celtics at 14. Via the Sacramento Kings. The Detroit Pistons taking Najee Little. Orlando Magic taking Nickel Walker. The Nets with PJ Washington. The Indiana Pacers with Tyler Hero. The San Antonio Spurs, Bruno Fernando. The Celtics getting Rui. Listen, if the Celtics get Hachimura, I think that's a good fit for them, really. And I think he would do very well there. At 21, OKC with taking Grant Williams, and then the Celtics with another draft pick at number 22, taking Goja Bitadze. I'm not exactly sure who that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. The rest of these guys, going deeper in the draft, man. Some of these guys, I don't know. This draft is not supposed to be so strong. Right, so going deeper and deeper in the draft, some of these guys are not going to be as well known, and maybe akin to second round draft picks. Maybe akin to second round draft picks. All right, let me see. Let's get back to the video chat. I know Nate wanted to get something in. Let's see who's waiting to get in. Mark is jumping back in the chat. Get Mark back in. Go ahead, Nate.
So yeah, you asked the question, why would somebody trade down? Is that what you said? You kind of said that?
Well, I didn't ask why they would trade down. I asked if they would. If you would trade down to get the Atlanta Hawks 2 picks. If they really wanted that 3rd pick, would you try to take their 2? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example. Look at the Celtics. The Celtics, I don't know if they really were high on Marcus Fultz as much as people thought they were. And what they did is they found a team that really wanted Markelle Fultz. And they still want, I think Tatum was their guy all the way. And so they got draft picks, acquired draft picks, and they still got the guy they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe, and this is just me, I truly believe that the Knicks covet Cam Reddish. He's a good size. He's a good defender. He's young. He's got offensive potential. I mean, you got to understand, he played on a team with 2 alpha dogs. So he was kind of the third man in the team, and nobody really got to really see his game. You know, I would love for him to go back to college because I think he'd be a top 2 or 3 pick next year, but he's not going to do that. But Cam Reddish is one that I think the Knicks covet a lot because they need perimeter defender at the wing position. I don't know if Knox is cutting it. You know, Knox's defense is pretty bad this year.
Well, yeah, it was. He was one of the worst in the league, but you know, he's a young guy. He's a rookie, so.
Or you could also even put Cam at the 2. You know, you could even play Cam at 2 or put Knox at 2, or you know, you could really work with that lineup. You know, there's a lot of length there. Another guy I think that they could maybe consider looking at is Jackson Hayes. Like I was telling you, from Texas. He's 6'11". He's a thin body, but he kind of got a little bit of LaMarcus Aldridge in him. You know, good shot blocker. I think he's a better shot blocker than LaMarcus Aldridge, but he's got a pretty good jumper. It's not great, but you know, it can be developed. But he's 6'11". That's what I like about him. He's 6'11". He's athletic. He's a shot blocker. I mean, you know, because like I said, we need a foreman. We don't have a foreman. Yeah, we're hoping KD comes, but even if KD comes, I put KD at the 3, and you know, maybe consider putting this guy at the 4. You know, if we went that way.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm leaning towards Cam Reddish. I like I said, I'm not high on RJ Barrett. I know a lot of people are. I would trade down and try to acquire more draft picks because, like you said, we have 7 draft picks already. What's wrong with getting another one? You know.
Well, I mean, I was saying those two draft picks would be in this draft. You know, I mean, you might be missing out on something. You might be missing out on something nice. Let's see. Let me get to Ernesto. Ernesto, what would you do, man? Would you trade down and take Atlanta's 2 picks?
Yes, I would. I would, because you get 2. I mean, you're getting 2 players now, and it's very possible that the Knicks, you know, brass, they find somebody they like that's going to be probably drafted around in those areas and around those spots, you know. But it's and another thing that you got to look at is cap wise, it works too. So because players that are getting drafted in the 8 to 10 range take about $5 million each, instead of like what they're gonna give the 3rd pick, which is gonna make it be around what? It's gonna be around $7 million, $8 million. They're gonna have to give to the 3rd pick.
Right.
8 and 9.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
You're talking about $4.5 million. About 4.5, more or less what Kevin Knox got. So.
Yeah.
So it works cap wise, and then you have a shot at 2 players. And and the Knicks are probably not necessarily looking for a star. They're probably looking for a player that is going to be, you know, the 3rd guy who's going to be a 2-way player. They're not necessarily looking for like an all-star caliber player, you know, at that range. And you know, and that's something you got to think about.
Yeah.
And it's 2 players.
Yeah.
You could end up with, let's say, Sekou Doumbouya, the French kid.
Uh-huh. Think I lost you, bro.
I'm sorry?
Think I lost what you were saying. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, man, it's getting pretty late out here. I'm gonna come back around to you, Isaiah. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. All right, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, because we're going to be on live covering the NBA draft as we build up to the NBA draft, the combine. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be on live tomorrow talking combine, but I'll be back on Friday for sure. I may drop a video covering, talking about the combine. But make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're gonna be, we're gonna stay updated with what's going on with the lottery, with the draft, and with the New York Knicks especially. All right. Also, if you're into hip hop music, subscribe to the Front Stoop, Hip Hop Society and Life. All right, here it goes. I just put the link in the channel, in the YouTube chat. All right, put the link in the YouTube chat. Subscribe to the Front Stoop. We're gonna be on live tomorrow night, talking hip hop, society, and life. So join in. You're gonna like it. You're gonna enjoy it. All right. Also, you can check out my website, nothingbutnicks.com. On the website, if you're interested in going to Knicks opening night this year, and listen, opening night is going to be crazy this year. I'm betting on it. You can put a down payment on your tickets right now. All right, so check us out on the website. I just put the website in the chat. All right, 1,300 people in here tonight. That's what's up. Talking New York Knicks, talking NBA draft, talking NBA lottery. That's how we do it. All right, this is how we do it, folks. Make sure you like the stream. Keep throwing them thumbs up. Keep throwing them thumbs up. All right. Let me see. Isaiah, what's going on?
Hey,
man?
what's up? So can I just say, man, I'm so proud of you, man.
Appreciate it, homeboy.
Man, you were, huh?
I said I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it.
Man, you are forever blessed, man. God got you covered, man. For real, for real. 1,300 people in here, man.
Hey, Isaiah, I don't know if you can see the stream, but down below they have my man, big dude with the goggles, and somebody in the chat said, that's you with the goggles, man. They getting on you, Isaiah.
Wait, hold on, wait.
They getting on you, huh? Huh?
Wait, hold on, wait, son. Can I shout out to my main man, the entertainer in the building? That's White
in
Chocolate.
The building, no doubt.
White Chocolate, man. That dude's White Chocolate forever got my heart. It don't matter. He can have it if he needs it. That's my man. But Sim, I'm really proud of you, man. You're so blessed, man. This is dope. I knew this was gonna happen because you deserve it. You work hard. We play hard. I still gotta bust your ass in basketball.
It's not happening. It's not happening. You shouldn't even have brought it up. It's not happening.
Yeah, you my pops, but I gotta bust you real quick. I gotta.
It's not happening.
But I'm gonna end it like this, man. Everybody that's saying trade down, please stop this. Stop this trade down talk. Yeah, you would lose your job, like Mark just said. Y'all would lose your job. No, don't trade down. Take RJ Barrett. Don't overcomplicate a draft.
That's the truth.
Don't overcomplicate.
I'm with you there. We don't want to overcomplicate anything.
Well, hold on, Nate. Come on now, Nate. If you take Cam Reddish or Bora Bora or whoever y'all want, you will get fired. Take RJ Barrett.
Yeah.
Take RJ Barrett. That's to me. I'm not gonna say the for sure thing, but like you said, son, the talent wise, it drops. I don't care what people say. The talent drops, and just take them. We're gonna have a great time at the Front Stoop. I love the last one, man. I heard mean, from what people are saying, man. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of people were interested about it because it was a real deep conversation that I think all four of us or five of us had about a whole brain of things. And the culture vulture thing, the culture vulture thing, man. I got a few names, Sim, that I want to talk about because there's a lot of culture vultures in our. And I'm not gonna say our music, but they claim a lot of things, but it's crazy, man.
Yeah. One second, my man, Carry 420. Don't worry. You said, Sim, don't forget the people that was here when you didn't have as many people. Don't worry, man. I'm not gonna forget anybody. That you ain't gotta worry about that. We do this for the culture. We're doing it for the people. So no doubt about it. Yeah, the Front Stoop is dope, man. It's pretty fun. But listen,
yeah, one more thing. One more thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna end this with a prayer.
Well, hold up. I mean, you're gonna end it with a prayer. We still got people on. We still.
Oh, yeah. Oh, do your thing.
listen, but it is 1:39 in the morning. I'm getting ready to head off because I do have to get up early, and I'm pretty sure some of you got to get up early and go to work. So I want to at least give you that chance to be able to get up and be fresh in the morning so you can go to work. But I appreciate everybody. Right now we got 1,345 people on here. I appreciate you guys for jumping on with me and joining the chat, talking in the YouTube chat. I appreciate it, and keep joining, keep joining into the chat because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about with the New York Knicks this summer. It's going to be a hot summer. All right, but I'm getting ready to head off, man. We're going to do some last words with everyone that's in the chat. Okay, we're going to do a last word. King Ant G said, don't forget the elitists.
You already know.
Yeah, that's it. For those who are just joining us and new to the channel, man, that's an inside joke, man. Listen, we have a lot of fun on the channel. We have a lot of fun. If you ever get a chance, go back, look at the chicken wing video. Where Isaiah had a chicken wing in his mouth. Hey, we do a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We do a lot of stuff on here, but let's get around. Ernesto, you got some last words, man?
My last word is that everything should be on the table. Isaiah, you say not to trade down, but if the Knicks, let's say, look how they found Mitch in the second round. Let's say they value multiple 5 guys who are going to be in that 8 to 10 range, and Atlanta wants to trade up to get RJ. That's something to think about. How many All-Stars are picked, 10 and 15? What, sorry?
Say that again, Ernesto. I didn't hear what you said. Broke up a little bit.
What I said is that if the Knicks, it's an option for the Knicks to trade down. They have to look at it.
You got to look at everything. Yeah,
absolutely, they have to look at it. Look, they got Mitch in the second round.
Yeah.
What 26 overall? And if they can find an impact player like that around in the ranges of 8 to 10, there's going to be a lot of guys that the Knicks are going to want. And that's something they're going to have to look at. Absolutely, they're going to have to look at that.
Yeah, you have to look at everything.
I'm not saying that I necessarily that I'll do it. Obviously, I'm not interviewing these guys. I'm not working them out personally. I don't have all that intel and all that information that they do. But there's something. Obviously, there's something they have to look at. There's plenty of guys that are all-star or high-quality players that get drafted in any range from 10 to up to 20. So it happens all the time in every draft. So if they can get 2 players in the same draft,
well, we'll see what happens. Hey, Ernesto, I appreciate it, man. Tomorrow night, I got the hip hop channel tomorrow night, but I'll be back on Friday night. With nothing but Knicks. But if you're in the hip hop, man, join us on the hip hop channel. If not, I'll see you on Friday night.
All right, man. I'll be there.
All right, appreciate it, bro. All right, Nate, you want to give us some last words?
Yeah, listen, just to kind of just close the debate on the trading down thing. The truth is that let's be real. We're probably bringing in Kyrie and KD. Okay, those are 2 alpha dogs. Okay, you bring in RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is kind of like an alpha dog too. I don't know what the rules are, but you can't have so many alpha dogs on the team. So maybe you go for a couple of B players to fill out a roster, because like you said, Sam, we have a lot of needs right now. We have a lot of needs.
A lot of needs.
And we have draft picks, we have assets to make moves, like you said. All I'm saying is that, listen, if you want RJ Barrett and you're stamping that approval, then go get RJ Barrett. But I just do not believe they're set on RJ Barrett. I think that they like a Cam Reddish, or they might like somebody, maybe a DeAndre Hunter, somebody down the line, but they feel that they can still get their guy and still acquire another player or another draft pick, another stash. Look at the Celtics. Celtics have been so successful because they've been able to manipulate other teams by getting their picks and still getting the guys they wanted. So that's all I'm saying. But like I said, if you really are keen on RJ Barrett, then go get RJ Barrett. But you got to look at the chemistry issues. You can't have so many dogs on the team. You got players that are going to fill out other positions. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. Hey, Nate, I'm going to be back on. Well, I'll be on the Hip Hop channel tomorrow, and I'll be back on Friday night. Talk Knicks.
Yeah, real quick question on the Hip Hop channel. Do y'all just talk about like real life situations, like what's going on in the world? Do y'all? Because I'll be honest with you, man. I'm kind of new to the hip hop thing. I mean, I listen to hip hop, but I don't know the whole history behind all that.
I mean, we talk about it. We talk about everything.
Okay.
That's why it's called. That's why it's called the front. Yeah, that's why it's called the front stoop, man. You know, people.
Cool.
It's like people sitting on the front stoop, just chilling, talking, having a good time. That's why it's called the front stoop.
Sounds good, man. I'll have to check it out sometime.
All right, man. Appreciate it, Nate.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
Have a good one. And now, let me see. Mark, give us some last words, bro.
Yo, Sam, people talking about like trade down it defeats the purpose because none of these young guys are going to be here. So what would be the purpose of trading down to trade RJ Barrett, which would be a trade piece, a valuable trade piece to get AD and other veteran to get AD to come with KD. Now, we gave up all of that building crap when we made that trade to open up salary cap. That's what the big reason was, because they know KD was coming. So when we did that, we gave up the built from young thing. They just went through the motions telling us we're going to do this regardless. Okay. Now, if KD had changed his mind, then you think about trading down with RJ Barrett. And still, I wouldn't even do that. I still wouldn't even do that.
Okay.
So stop thinking like that. As much as I don't want RJ Barrett team, but he is a tall wing that can defend at a high level. That's one thing. That's why I'm not tripping over the pick. I'm not tripping over it. But the trade down for what? Who's at 8 that I really would want?
I don't know. Hey, you know what? Listen, you know, I mean, you did mention some people: Jarrett Culver, Deandre Hunter.
Yeah, those guys
you might be able to get
before. They're going before 8.
Okay, I mean, but not even just talk about the 8th pick. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's just a conversation. Anything is on the table, I think, for the Knicks right now. Anything is on the table.
Yeah, but you would definitely lose your job if you to trade RJ Barrett to trade down. People would say people would say, yo, your job need to be taken away. Now, if we was rebuilding and KD wasn't coming, then I'll probably think about it. But still, I wouldn't trade that 3rd pick to trade down. I wouldn't. Okay. I'd have just dealt with RJ Barrett, and it is what it is.
Okay.
Because he's a Knick.
All right, Mark. I'm gonna catch you on. I'm gonna catch you on the front stoop tomorrow night.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. I'll catch you. All right, peace. All right. Who knows what's going on?
I'll look back, Isaiah. See you later, Isaiah.
Not sharing any power with Mark. I don't know what Mark gonna do. Isaiah, it's on you, my man.
Hey, what's going on, Sam? Again, man, I'm so happy for you, Sam. I'm genuinely happy for you, man. I really am, man.
Appreciate it, brother.
You are deserving of it. For a light-skinned man, you are the greatest light-skinned man I know, next to Chris Brown.
Oh, Chris Brown? That's not a big compliment.
I don't know that.
That's not a big compliment. That's not a big compliment. You say next to Chris Brown.
Fine. What's a light-skinned?
Jeez. At least say Prince or somebody.
Oh, Prince. Yeah.
I mean,
Prince.
jeez.
I like Prince. Man, shout out to my boy, the entertainer, one more time. Ring that bell, ring my bell. He does that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but, big shout out.
That's White Chocolate.
It's just a big shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man. Hopefully we can keep this going and get it like this every night. But big shout out to everybody for joining us tonight. We got a lot of topics to talk about, so something's gonna be hot. It's gonna be bumping all summer.
I can't wait for the summer, Sim. It's gonna be. I'm predicting this, Sim. I'm saying that you're gonna have over 2,000 people in one time. I know you are.
We'll see. We'll see. But the draft is coming up, Isaiah. I'm hoping that we can do something at the draft. I'm be talking with a few people to see if we can. Thank you, Rob Petito. Appreciate it. Said congrats. To see if we can get us a little spot where everybody just comes out and enjoys the draft together. Maybe it's at the Barclays. Maybe it's at MSG. I don't know. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm working on it.
Yeah, man. I hope you're there, man. I want to come with you, man. I want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on it. So I'm gonna keep everybody updated. Andy, what's popping, man? He says Sim, Europe is waking up. Hence, people are joining in. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and
Hey,
listen.
man, look at that,
so
man.
people that are in Europe right now that are on the stream, I am gonna do something that's at a time frame so that you guys can check out the stream as well. You know what I mean? Because I know there's a lot of European Knicks fans. There wasn't. KP wouldn't have got jumped by some Russians.
Let me not laugh about that. But I can't wait for the front stoop tomorrow, man. I can't wait to talk about this stuff, man. And I want how can I say this? I want every race to hop onto the front stoop, man. It's not just like I don't want people to believe it's just like a black thing or like
it's not.
Brown
it's for
thing.
everybody.
It's
listens
for
to hip hop.
everybody, man. Anybody can jump.
Everybody listens to hip hop.
I want Christian, even though the entertainer's black. The entertainer's black, but he could jump in it too, man. I want everybody in it, man. I want everybody to get it. Because I'm a firm believer. Seriously, since right now, I'm a firm believer. I want to hear everybody's side of how they feel about it. You know, how do you feel? I could tell you how I feel about stuff as a black man. I want to understand how you feel stuff as a Mexican man, as a Puerto Rican man, as a white man. See it from your side, because I think that's a good way for us to all understand each other.
That's it, man. Conversation, dialogue. That's how that's how we grow as a people. But we're getting off the topic, man. We talk. You was getting off the topic, man.
Let me do this praying, man. Everybody, close your heads. Close your heads. I said close your heads. Close your eyes. Bow your head. I just want to thank you, God, for my man Sen. We got 1.3K in this YouTube video. He's getting it in. Now, I know we didn't Zion, and we didn't get Ja. But let me tell you something. RJ Barrett, hey, hoopah, boo-wah. I just want to say everything is so mellow. And yes, after this chat and I hang up, I'm going to get some pudding and some Jell-O. I know we're going to get KD and Kyrie. You best believe. Because if we don't, I'm going to go to MSG and I'm going to pee. I know this chat's going to blow up. And I'm going to keep it all the way funky. And if it don't, I'm going to kick somebody like Show Enough. And if you can't believe it, you best see it. I know Sim's gonna sell his bucket hats for $22.99, just like Jesus. And one thing I'm gonna do,
they ain't have bucket hats back then.
After I snooze, I'm gonna go to sleep and heat me a hoo-hoo. Now, can everybody say amen?
I guess amen, man. Hey, amen, Isaiah, man. I appreciate it, bro. I'm about to head up out of here, man. All right.
Hey, Sim, man. You know how it is, man. I'm going to see you tomorrow, man.
All right. Peace, man. Have a good one.
All right. Peace out, man.
Hey, everybody in the chat, I appreciate you. And I want some people, just pay attention as I'm going. People that's like my OGs in the chat that's been here for a while, I'm going to give you the bench. So it's gonna take some time. I'm gonna go through and get it to you. People that's been here a while that I know has the best interest at heart when it comes to the chat. I'm gonna give you a blue rent. So just stay with it. Just stay with it. I'm gonna get it to you. I appreciate everybody for joining in. All right, please subscribe to the channel. Ring the notification bell. You get a notification anytime that I go live. All right. I'm gonna be on the front stoop tomorrow. If you go back in the chat, you can see there's plenty of links to the front stoop. If you're interested in hip-hop music and you want to talk a little bit about hip-hop music, go ahead and subscribe to the front stoop. I'm going to put the link in there one more time. My Twitter's in there, my Instagram is in there, and the website is in there. Join it. All right. Listen, I see a lot of people say great stream. You guys make the streams great. You know what I'm saying? You guys make the streams great. I can't shout everybody out, but I see you in the chat. I appreciate you. It wouldn't be no stream if you wasn't here. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys. And listen, I'm out for the night. Join me on the front stoop tomorrow, but I'll definitely be back Friday night. We're going to have a lot to talk about. All right. I'll be on Friday night, probably about 11:30. We have a whole lot to talk about. All right. So with that said, my friends, family that's in the chat, enjoy yourself. Have a great rest of your week. You know, I may be able to drop a small little video or something to talk about the combine tomorrow, but I'll be on the front stoop. And if not, I will see you on Friday. Peace.